Okay, what you see here are 6 different planes which represent the different surfaces in a room. Here's the floor and what will be projected there, what visitors see. Here's wall 1, wall 2, wall 3, wall 4, and the ceiling. And this folds up like a box, but it's what's projected on each surface. And you can imagine that my mouse cursor here is like a person walking around on the floor, and various things interact with their movement. And I can show you the different physics engine behaviors that I'm porting into Unity right now and their corresponding sounds made in maxmsp here. This is in maxmsp, but I'm porting much of this, except for the sound, into Unity. So it runs very slow, but that's why I'm porting the graphics part into Unity, which is already solving a lot of this lag. Okay, the particles can collide with each other. And if they collide with each other, not that hard, they make that sound. And if they collide with each other harder, then they turn yellow, and then they belong to each other like partners, and they spin in opposite directions. But all of those collisions time out, and they go back to being the purple dots over time. Something else that can happen is we can open up what I call a void. When the negative space between particles, the white space, becomes large enough, then we get this black space and this geyser that periodically comes out of it and travels up the wall and across the ceiling, where if it collides with a disk, it makes the sound of the disk. And then the yellow particles, so when I hit these things hard enough, they can get trapped inside of the voids. And then they start resonating with this metallic sound. Let's catch a few. Okay, and then the other collisions that don't strike each other very hard, they can then excite the void, like this. Let's see if we can push one over here, see what happens. Then all the ones that were stuck go into orbit. They play that more rhythmic sound. But eventually they'll go back to being frozen inside of the void after they complete their orbit. There they are. So that's the main behaviors that I've started off with in maxmsp that I'm trying to now port into Unity.